Okay, well, here we are. Let's do another one of these. I think you'll see there's a lot going on in the world, but we're not going to talk about that here. I got a million other places you can find that stuff on. This is about you and how to live longer and how to live younger. Dear August, do you think dry fasting can help with androgenic alopecia, balding? Or have you heard any medication or anecdotal story about it? Well, I can tell you this. When you get rid of your senescent cells and you start cleaning your body out and getting rid of all these toxins, you get rid of dihydrotestosterone, which is the metabolic byproduct of testosterone, which causes pattern balding. I've noticed this in myself. I'm getting some color back in the back of my head, but I'm not losing any hair on top of my head anymore. I'm a descendant of Ben Franklin, so I should have this huge blank area here with these things coming down. Not on this little duck. Not this little black duck. And so yeah, I've seen my hair loss stop completely. I've seen a little bit of hair growth too. So that means that I'm able to get rid of the dihydrotestosterone during dry fasting, which has stopped the irritation that causes the hair loss. I've had white hair since I was in my 20s or 30s. My dad, a doctor, had white hair when he was 18, still in med school. It's just a Dunning genetic. So the white hair thing, who knows? We have deficient catalase, which is the thing that neutralizes hydrogen peroxide in the hair follicles. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Haven't cared about it because I'm not losing my hair anymore. Can I heal chronic fatigue and renew insulin sensitivity? Hell yeah. I mean, you think about it, you're not eating tons of sugar anymore when you get rid of parasites, which means your insulin receptor sites in your cells are able to rebuild and restore themselves because you're not overburdening them with insulin all the time to keep it out of your bloodstream. You don't die of a sugar coma. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing. And when you think about chronic fatigue is something that's in the mitochondria. You're not making enough energy. Why are you fatigued? Why are you fatigued if you're not making enough energy in the mitochondria? Eat the fat, eat and all this stuff, and it's really great because if you want to solve chronic fatigue, you got to have fats, which are the source of free fatty acids, which services the electron transport chain in the mitochondria. Get the copper because the copper has a lot to do with this action in the process in ETC. And without copper, that can't operate properly. You need the copper, you need the retinol, you need the butter, and you'll feel a whole lot better. You can get rid of chronic fatigue, not necessarily with a dry fast, by actually changing your diet. We'll talk about neogenesis stuff. Since stem cell release, which holds on for weeks, if not months, starts on day 3, wouldn't it all be necessary to limit the amount of 3-day dry fast to a minimum? Yeah, it would. You don't want to dry fast longer than 3 days because you don't want to turn your stem cells on all the time. These act as a reservoir for fixing damage. And they're all over the body. It's not just in this little hole full of stem cells. It's everywhere. The fascial matrix, this spongy material, this protein matrix that holds all the bones and the organs and the nerves and the blood vessels and everything in place. I talk about neogenesis. They're where the stem cells are. That's when you get damage in your shoulder, you get stem cell that fix that shoulder. You get stem cells that are damaged in your knee, you get stem cells in the knee that repair the knee because they're right there. They don't have to travel to the knee, they don't have to travel to the organs, they're in that organ, they're in that location. The fascial matrix is something you should buy Neogenesis and read about because that's what you really are. And by the way, just as an aside, when you go in for a deep tissue massage, it's far less effective than superficial gentle massage because you're trying to relax the fascial matrix, which is a lot of the time bound up, which is causing what you think is tendon problems in the body and this tightness. It's actually the fascia that's been bound up. Read about it. It's really a pretty interesting topic. Next subject. I was introduced to your channel by a farmer I met here in Alberta, Canada. Hey, what's all about? He's 58 years old, and he told me that since he read your book and did a 7-day dry fast, he feels much younger. He needs less sleep, has more energy, and no longer needs his afternoon naps. No longer has back pain. He also noticed his sweats are less. Good. A lot of the times, people around you will tell you about they tried the dry fasting. And I suggest getting the book, learn about it. If anything happens with a solar event, a solar flare, a solar coronal mass ejection, burns out our electronic systems, get that book because it won't be burnt out by a solar flare. And you have that available to you and your friends and you could probably operate your own dry fast clinics in your own area just using the book alone to help people stay healthy during a really big, critical situation. So yeah, good. Please, dry fast. I recommend it to everybody. Here's a good comment from regular contributor C. Red. Raymond Reddington? I don't know. I just completed my third 70 dry fast. This therapeutic process is restorative, even that can only be described as completely life-altering. I could literally write a book on the benefits I've gained by doing this procedure. I couldn't agree more. When I first did this, I had lost my sense of smell. I could not taste anything really well because I couldn't smell anything. I had tried everything for 3 years. Medicine, salt rinses, upside down salt flips, all this stuff. 3 days on a dry fast, I got my sense of smell back. Supposedly, the medical industry says it's impossible to regrow the epithelial nerve endings in your nose. I've just done the impossible naturally. And so can you. Let's see. Anyway, so that's it for today. And don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Please send this video to other people. I want to make sure this stuff goes. Tell people about the Spanish version and the French version of the Phoenix Protocol. Get this stuff out there, and let's help other people around the world have a much longer lifespan and a much longer health span.